Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Friday, December 10th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate, and then going over my pick for both FanDuel and DraftKings in terms of picks for tonight's slate as well. So we're going to start off with yesterday's slate, and we're going to start off with the DraftKings side. This actually ended up being a pretty good day overall. I know I talked about in my video yesterday, there was not a lot of value going into the day, but some of that opened up throughout the day, especially with Dylan Brooks ended up missing. So at the point guard position on DraftKings side, we had Derek White, $6,300, looking for 32 points on him. He got to 43, so he was a nice little hit there. DeAnthony Melton ended up in that starting lineup in place of Dylan Brooks. $4,600, looking for 23 points on him. He got to 30.5, so he was a hit. Doug McDermott kind of might pivot off of Rudy Gay since Hassan Whiteside was actually ruled in, so that affected Rudy Gay just a little bit overall. So Doug McDermott, $4,200, looking for 21 points on him. He got to 21.75, so he was a hit as well. Then at power forward, probably one of the chalkiest plays overall on both sides for the day, Jaren Jackson Jr., $7,000, looking for 35 points on him. He got to 36.75, so he was a hit as well. And then Mr. Old Reliable, Jakob Poeltl, $6,400, looking for 32 points on him. He got to 33.75, so he was a hit. So a perfect 5-for-5 day on the DraftKings side. If you went with those 5 players, you had a very, very good start to your lineup. And then if you kind of mix and match some guys, especially like I did with Nikola Jokic, who had a good game as well, probably did pretty well yesterday. Then on the FanDuel side, not quite as pretty, but still pretty good. So at the point guard position, went with Donovan Mitchell, $8,400, looking for 42 points on him. He only got to 36.2. He was a miss. Ended up only playing 29 minutes in this game. This game ended up being a blowout as well, so that did affect him just a little bit overall. Then at shooting guard, moved over to Desmond Bane once Dylan Brooks had been ruled out. $6,400, looking for 32 points on him. He got to 39.1, so he was a hit. Then probably the worst pick of the day was Bojan Bogdanovic, who was $5,200, looking for 26 points. He only got half of that. He had 13 in this game. He was a miss. He played 28 minutes. This game was a blowout, and all his points just came from scoring. He literally did nothing else yesterday. No rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, anything like that. One turnover, but 14 points, one turnover, nothing else. So just a very disappointing day for him overall. So it looks like the curse of the Bogdanoviches are well and alive once again for me, unfortunately. And then at power forward, obviously, probably the chalkiest play on the FanDuel side was Jaren Jackson Jr., $6,200, looking for 31 points on him. He got to 37, so he was a hit. And then Nikola Jokic, $11,100, looking for 56 points on him. He got to 59.6, so he was a hit as well. So overall, a pretty solid day, minus the Bogdanovic pick. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries in play for tonight's slate. So it's going to be a 9-game slate overall. There is 2 games starting right at 7 o'clock. We're going to start off with the Dallas Mavericks, who are without Willie Cauley-Stein once again. And then Sterling Brown is questionable to play. We'll see if he ends up playing or not. It really doesn't matter too much for DFS purposes. Then for the Pacers, they're still without Justin Holiday, TJ McConnell, and TJ Warren, so no changes there. For Sacramento Kings, the biggest one here is Rashawn Holmes is now out in this game. He's dealing with that eye injury that he was dealing with earlier once again. Sounds like he's going to miss a couple different games now. So you're looking at Tristan Thompson, Alex Len, maybe even a little bit of Marvin Bagley playing that center rotation tonight. Then for the Charlotte Hornets, they're the exact same as they've been for a little while now with LaMelo Ball, Jalen McDaniels, Mason Plumlee, Terry Rozier, and Ish Smith all out in COVID protocol. For the Brooklyn Nets, Joe Harris and Kyrie Irving out once again, so no major changes there. They obviously did rest Kevin Durant and LaMarcus Aldridge the last time out. They should both be back today. For the Atlanta Hawks, Hunter and Bogdanovich are both out, and then Cam Reddish looking like he has a chance to play. He's been dealing with that wrist injury for a little while now. For the New York Knicks, just Nerlens Noel listed as a game-time decision, but expected to play. Toronto Raptors, without the same 3 guys in OG Anunoby, Kem Birch, Goran Dragic, then Champagny and Achua are both questionable to play tonight. Obviously, the biggest one there is going to be Precious Achua news. Moving down to the Pistons, we got Kelly Olynyk out once again. For the Pelicans side, Zion Williamson, Didi Lozano, and Drew Holmes are all out. Nothing we're majorly concerned about there since it's pretty much been what it's been for a while now. Then for the Milwaukee Bucks, Semi Ojeleye, Brook Lopez, Dante DiVincenzo all out. George Hill is questionable to play. He's missed the last couple of games in a row. And then Giannis, he's listed as a game-time decision, but expected to play, so just keep an eye on that one throughout the day. For the Houston Rockets, same 5 guys out as last time with John Wall, Kevin Porter Jr., Daniel House, Jalen Green, and Usman Garuba, so no changes there at all. The main thing there, we're just looking to see if Armani Brooks is in the starting lineup or if we go back to a bigger starting lineup with like Daniel Tice once again. Cleveland Cavaliers are all the way healthy at this point in time. Minnesota Timberwolves have D'Angelo Russell questionable. We'll see if he's back tonight or not. Patrick Beverly listed as probable at this point in time. Moving down to the Los Angeles Lakers, Kendrick Nunn and Trevor Ariza are both out. Rajon Rondo is questionable to play. He missed last night, but he hasn't really been in the rotation either way. Most notably, LeBron James and Anthony Davis don't even have any tags on them at this point in time, but I would not be surprised if one of those two ends up sitting tonight on the back-to-back, so we'll just have to keep an eye out on that one overall. And then for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're all the way healthy at this point in time. And then we had the one late game between the Boston Celtics and the Phoenix Suns. Jaylen Brown's out once again. Bruno Fernando's out. And then for the Suns, same four guys as we've been seeing for a little while now. Devin Booker, Frank Kaminsky, Abdul Nader, and Dario Saric are all out once again, so no major changes there. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on the injuries in play for tonight's 9-game slate. A couple little things that we'll be watching out for through the day. A couple of my picks that I do mention may change throughout the day just based on some of those injuries as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So you're going to see a theme on this one. It's guys that are a little bit cheaper, so you're able to pay up for studs elsewhere. So that's kind of the plan on DraftKings, at least early on today. So the point guard position, apparently he has point guard eligibility now. It's Chris Duarte, and he's $4,400, looking for 22 points out, averaging 24 on the season. I got him projected for about 24, 25 points tonight. Then at shooting guard, we got Amari Brooks once again. Assuming he's in that starting lineup again, $4,000, looking for 20 points out. I got projected for about 22 points tonight. Then at small forward, we're going back to Josh Hart. He's kind of been my boy most of the year. He missed a bunch of games, but then he did come back for that last game. He played his normal rotation. I believe that game went into overtime as well because he ended up playing like 42 minutes. So I don't really have any concerns minutes-wise with him at this point in time if they're willing to play him 42 minutes in his first game back. So $5,000, looking for 25 points out. I'm got projected for about 26, 27 points tonight. Pretty much in line with what he's been averaging on the season. Then at power forward, we got an interesting name here in Darius Bazley, $4,100. Looking for about 20, 21 points out. I'm averaging 22.5 on the season. I got him projected for 22 points tonight. We kind of seen earlier on this year, he wasn't getting these minutes, and then he wasn't playing as well. But the last two times out, he's been getting the minutes again. As long as he's getting those minutes, he's going to be a pretty good value play overall tonight. Then last but not least, we're going to Tristan Thompson. Kind of talked about Richaun Holmes being out a little bit. This could change if Tristan Thompson's not in that starting lineup. It is a little bit risky, too, because Charlotte can play small ball, and Tristan Thompson maybe not the greatest at playing small ball. Maybe they put a Marvin Bagley out there at that center position. Maybe they even move Harrison Barnes down to the 5 because it's not like Charlotte's going to play super big with P.J. Washington at the 5. A lot of risk there, but there's also a lot of reward at $3,500. You need 17, 18 points out of him. I got him projected for about 21, 22 points tonight. But if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here on the DraftKings side, you have $29,000 remaining to spend, just over $9,600 per player. So there's lots of pay-up options on this slate. James Harden, Luka Doncic, Giannis, Kevin Durant, Karl Anthony Towns, you name it, Trae Young, Jason Tatum, LeBron James, whoever you want to pay up for tonight. If you go with these core 5, you can pretty much pay up for any of those 2 guys and then pick a third player that's just a little bit cheaper than that and have a pretty solid lineup going out overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So at the point guard position, I'm going with Cody Martin tonight. $5,000, looking for 25 points out of him. He's averaging just over 22 on the season. I got him projected for about 26, 27 points tonight. Definitely looking like one of the better value point guard plays early on tonight's slate. Then at shooting guard, we got Josh Giddey, $5,500. Looking for 27, 28 points at him. Averaging just over 29 on the season. Got him projected for 28 points tonight. You know, we've seen him have very good games at times this year. Usually not when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's playing as well. But we've also seen him get up to that 30-point mark in a lot of games as well. So there's a little bit of upside with him as well. And then at small forward, we're going right back to Kelly Oubre at $7,400, looking for 37 points at him. Been playing very well, been playing super massive minutes with all these guys out. Got him projected for about 39 points tonight, but we already know he definitely has some upside for more as well. Then he's back once again at the power forward position, Isaiah Stewart, $5,500, looking for 27, 28 points at him. Got projected for 28 points tonight. This is probably my most likely pick to change throughout the day if we get some news, something else going on. But Isaiah Stewart at this point in time, if he's getting the minutes, if he's out there, and he's going to have to be out there probably more often than not against Jonas Valanciunas, if he's staying out of that foul trouble, going to be a good game for Isaiah Stewart overall once again. Then last but not least, we have that counterpart in Jonas Valanciunas, who is $7,500, looking for 37, 38 points, averaging over 39 on the season. I got him projected for 40 points once again tonight. I think it should be a pretty solid game for him. And he's been playing a little bit better as of late once again. So Jonas Valanciunas looking like one of the better center values overall on tonight's slate. But if you go with these 5 players on the DraftKings side, you have $29,100 remaining. just under $7,300 per player. So you can probably pay up for a stud, find some value elsewhere. Maybe even you could pay up for 2 guys and then find some dirt cheap guys if we do get that throughout the day. Or you can take a little bit more balanced approach and kind of plug and play from there as well. But definitely a lot of ways that you can approach it from the FanDuel side. Definitely looking more like a stars and scrubs side for the DraftKings side, just based on where the value lies. But on FanDuel, it's a little bit more balanced overall. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, December 10th. As always, if you have any questions, especially related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings. Heck, if you play Super Draft at all and you want to talk a little bit of Super Draft down in the comments, feel free to do that as well. I've been playing some Super Draft myself. Personally, I was one player off from a takedown on Super Draft last night. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the starting lineups as well as injury updates throughout the day, so definitely be sure you're checking down in the comments. I'll have that updated core about 20 to 30 minutes before lock as well, so definitely make sure you're checking out throughout the day, getting all that news, so you'll be as best prepared as possible for tonight's slate. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers. Helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. And then with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.